Taurus, you are about to be a year older now, if you're not already, and you're coming into this new chapter of your life of where you are starting with a clean slate. Just with every facet of your life, you are approaching your life in general, what it is that you're going to be investing into when it comes to your people in your life, as well as your projects. You're coming at this with a new set of eyes. And this new set of eyes only came forward to you from this place of where you have really reflected on the past, what it is that you have gone through in your life, the trials, the tribulations with this Ten of Swords, Taurus, and you are seeing how you have evolved from there. But I get like this message of just no more. This message of where when it comes to relationships in your life, you, even in the sense of like people that you ended things on bad terms with, that you're not on good terms with certain people, Taurus, you're able to look at them from a place of love and realize that it's just, oh, that was a chapter of my life. Almost as if not to say that you have forgiven them, Taurus. There's certain people, certain things that you dealt with during this Ten of Swords experience that are just simply unforgivable. And yes, Taurus, I'm going to be that spiritual person where it's just like some things you just are not going to be able to fully move on from. You're always going to have some type of scars that you carry with you as you go through life that sometimes fuel you or what have you. So there's some unforgivable things that forced you to be in this place of where you really don't have much left to your name when it comes to prior things that you've committed yourself to because of the actions from your past. But you are seeing this from a place of where you're not harboring negative emotions towards this anymore, because that was you, yes, Taurus, but you don't identify with who you were back then when people devalued you, underappreciated you, back then when people couldn't see the vision for yourself that you thought you saw for yourself. But now that you're looking at your life now, you realize that it's not even comparable to what a younger version of yourself thought you were going to be. And with this new sense of journey for you, because tens and tarot represents the ending of a cycle, and you even look closely towards at this Ten of Swords, it's like the darkness is starting to be lifted from around them, starting that new chapter. Really, once again, your cards really symbolizing towards this new story that you're creating for yourself, where you're not really bringing much along besides the scars of the past and what they've taught you. Right. And so I'm really excited about what's coming in for you, because as you start this journey, you're going to be getting met with a lot of different folks in your life, Taurus. Now, I'm a little bit of a nerd, but I used to be a very big fan of the console games for Final Fantasy. And usually like the storylines, at least from what I remember, it's like you always start out as like one person, and then like very quickly you start collecting your party members to save the world and fight darkness and evil and right. And I, on some level, see this as like your storyline. Now, I'm not saying that you're going to be slaying some demons, honey, but from your cards that I have laid out here in front of me, Taurus, you're going to be running into a lot of new travelers on this new journey that you're starting as this Fool. And so in this tarot reading here, I'm going to try to give you a little bit of clarity when it comes to your social life, your career, and all that stuff, and give you some advice. Before we get into that though, Taurus, let me introduce myself real quick. My name is SimplyVelca, darling. I've been reading tarot cards for about 12 years now. What makes my tarot readings a little bit different from other people on this platform, Taurus, is that yes, I'll talk about the good things that you're manifesting in your life, but I like to give people who take in my tarot readings to have a sense of direction or clarity after they leave my video. And so I'll tell you about what you're manifesting, but I like to give you a sense of like how you go from point A to point B, because what good is knowing what you're manifesting if you don't know how to get there and claim it. So if I sound like the type of tarot reader for you, darling, then let's just get into it. Now, as I said beforehand, Taurus, I already have your rows laid out here. Your first row is your general, and then we'll get into your social life and then your career. All right, so it's going to be a layered tarot reading, and then afterwards I have your oracle cards that I pulled for you as well, Taurus. And so let's get into this. In your general portion, as I already showed to you a little bit here, we have that Ten of Swords, and then we have the Knight of Cups, and then the Hierophant energy here. All right, and so you ended a chapter of your life here, Taurus, whether this was in your career, socially, just there's something that just your life in general that you have moved on from. And so that's being quickly replaced with like new substantial energy in your life. As a tarot reader, when you see court cards, you can't help but think of people here. And I feel like that's where your spiritual team is trying to help you out the most, is connecting you with the right folks that will help open certain doors for you. All right, you're going to be getting a lot of different people that are interested in investing into you, Taurus, or just you being yourself. I see you catching people's attention and then wanting to approach you and get to know you. And my suggestion here seems to be the sense of when that Knight of Cups walks into your life, with the sense of, because cups, keep in mind, Taurus, can represent opportunities. It can represent quite literally people here. But when certain people start coming into your life and start making it a point to connect to you, see what they have to offer, because that's how your spiritual team is going to be trying their best to reach you, to help open doors for you just in your general life, socially, and career. All right, when I talk about these human connections, it doesn't just mean romance, darling, right? I always like to make that very clear. And really solid energy. And so we'll get into some of your oracle cards right now, all right, to reinforce why I feel so confidently for you, Taurus, of the energy that is coming into your space, this new chapter you're beginning. Like, you're laying, like, the foundation that you're building for yourself right now is getting built really fast, and it's a really sturdy foundation, because again, what you learned from your past, like, you're taking that with you. And so you already have like well-developed boundaries, you already have a business mind, you already have this elevated sense of self, Taurus. So any new journey that you step into, you are able to stabilize yourself really quickly. That's a trait that I feel like Tauruses are just generally known for, is you always can make any place a home very quickly, and you're resourceful. And so you have the beaver spirit coming in for you, Taurus. This is the number 6 in numerology, so look that up later on to see what messages that has. But the beaver spirit quite literally says laying down that solid foundation for yourself. And so where I see your life progressing right now, Taurus, is that I see it being a little bit more of a slow churn, right? When you think, maybe I'm uneducated about beavers, Taurus, but I don't think dams are like necessarily, I guess obviously depending on the size, but they're not built overnight. It's something that progressively happens. The water flow doesn't just stop just like that. It's a progressive thing. It slows down. And so that's what I feel like your life is going to be in the coming days. So don't be frustrated, Taurus, if as you start this new chapter, yes, you have all this knowledge and wisdom and this preparation from your past that you're bringing with you, but you still need to take the time to build the solid foundation, because after you build the solid foundation, then anything you build on top of it, not only can you build it quickly, and it will develop quickly, but you can fit a lot in there and have it stack up. And so think of your life right now as like you're laying the foundation. Maybe you want to be developing your social life, having new friendships, new business connections, right? But right now it's important for you to lay down the foundation for yourself, which for you, it might be different in the sense, it's going to be different for all of you, obviously, Taurus. And so like for you, it could be a sense of where you want to start taking care of your skin, your body, physical body. Maybe there's some classes or courses that you're wanting to take. There's this sense of like personal development, Taurus. You're in this period right now where you're creating the best scenario possible to be able to get the results that you want for the long-term future. So keep in mind what it is that you're trying to create for the long term here, right? Because you're starting out fresh. There's no rush in this journey right now, Taurus, because as the Fool's Journey in Tarot, the major arcana is like this is the storyline unfolding of the fool's journey. And I should know this, but I'm pretty sure it's 24 major arcana cards. Y'all can correct me. It's either 21 or 24, but I think it's 24 major arcana cards representing the fool's journey, right? So you're just starting, right? You're at number 1, honey, or not. You're at number 1. You're at the 0 mark, right? So don't allow your sense of urgency or your excitement for what it is that you want to build rush things along. Don't psych yourself out. All right. So let's get into the social portion here, where we'll talk a little bit more about these other 2 oracle cards later on as we unfold your story a little bit more, Taurus. You have in your social row here the King of Wands. All right, so another court card here. Take note, Taurus. This is why I keep on really insisting. There's this sense of someone that is social life in general, but there is definitely someone that is paying attention to you or watching you. And for some reason, Taurus, I get like this sense of someone from your past. I feel like your path divulged from a lion, someone that you obviously had some respect for. It's like your path crossed with somebody, and it's like you were both alphas, or you both are really I don't know, you guys complemented each other and were really able to build and work off of one another. And then whatever caused y'all to split off, that's y'all's business here. But ultimately, I see that, like, I see this, and I see this as symbology for you, Taurus, where it's like an old friend, an old flame that is watching where it is that you are, how you have grown, how you have developed, and like what it is that you are doing in your future, and really inspired by this here. All right, really inspired by this. I'm going to pull a couple clarifiers because I feel like this is just a very specific energy source, and the other two cards I have pulled are more so general. Let's see right here, the full energy. Yeah, the full energy, the Two of Swords, and then the Six of Swords coming in here. I really want to be surprised, Taurus, if someone comes from your past where it's just like, hey, take me with you. Someone that you have grown and that you developed with before in the past here, and then they're trying to be like, oh, hey, like before you start this new journey here, can I come along here? Since, you know, so much has happened from the past, we can start fresh type of thing. Well, I'm not going to really comment on what you should do with that situation here because I am the free will. I feel like tarot is just here to give you a perspective, and that's for you to unpack towards, because ultimately I don't know what went down between the two of you guys, but I can just prepare you for that as well, so you can think about it yourself, all right, and see if you really want to bring along another fool on your journey, right? Because you are on your fool journey, but I get like this message where you know that it's kind of time for you to start your own things, create your own community. And speaking of Taurus, you have the Knight of Pentacles with the Hanged Man. All right. And so this is once again another court card here, someone that is going to be joining you along your path here, Taurus, when it comes to your social life. And I feel as if because of this Hanged Man, this person here is really going to help, similar to the King of Wands from before and from someone from your past. I feel as if you're destined to be running or crossing paths with somebody that really shakes your perception of the world up, where in a positive way, Taurus, because I feel like this person that you connect to really takes away some of the cynicism that you might feel currently towards people. But let's pull some clarifying cards on this so I can really define it. You had a card coming in here, 10 of Cups, so really solid. Three of Cups coming in, or rather King of Cups coming in here as well. And then the Two of Pentacles. Girl, if I can hold these cards here. So these little clarifiers I have for this. Yeah, this gives me the sense of very quickly, Taurus, as you start this new foolish chapter. Yes, you have that stuff from the past and you can make your choices about it, but don't make your choice based off of thinking that you're not going to be able to bring family into your life, creating your own personal family, right? And it doesn't have to be by blood here, all right? Whatever is coming forward to you socially is someone that is very emotionally mature. And again, I get the sense of a pleasant surprise because it's something that you're not really necessarily used to with people. And so you can prepare yourself for that. And you, based off of that information, you can make the choice, Taurus, and you can let me know in the comments, what are you going to be doing about this King of Wands from the past? What caused for y'all to split up if you want to post your business like that? Yeah. And so let me know about that there. So let's now go into, let's do another Oracle card actually. All right, you have the full moon in Aries, which is cooling your emotions, which I feel like is relevant here. Getting your emotions intact, Taurus, before you make a decision. I feel like that's more something that you already became self-aware of yourself, Taurus, and something you've recently made a conscious effort in doing is really getting, not to say that you haven't had a control of your emotions, but I feel like the relationship that you have with the self, the higher self, Taurus, has really developed. So I feel like you have gotten a lot more comfortable at taking longer pauses to think about what it is that you're going to be saying next, what it is you're going to be doing. So really commendable in that way here, but also just a sign of where it's don't allow emotions, especially from emotions from your past, have you make decisions in the heat of the moment when those emotions shouldn't be something that this fool is familiar with, right? Yeah, I'm not trying to tell you what to be doing, darling. I like the new energy that's coming towards you. All right, I really feel like it shakes up your world in a very positive way. It gives you just hope, again, for humanity itself. Let's go on now into your career, Taurus, starting out with the High Priestess. All right, really pay attention to your thoughts at this time, your intuition. You really are getting connected with the spiritual realm and your spiritual team and like what they are wanting you to do. Or they're really giving you some inspiration here. And the main message that I get when it comes to your career and financials, where it's just like holding strong. All right. You have, I'll show you just this one card first, Taurus. You have the Nine of Wands coming in, which is that wounded warrior standing strong in your conviction about something, seeing something through until the end. All right. Not giving up on something because you're hopeful for a change here. How that change comes in seems to be through a social connection. You have the Lover's card once again popping up for you. And so I'm not saying, once again, I really want to reinforce this, Taurus, and I'm not saying that you're going to be getting into a relationship, darling, but what I do see for you is that, especially because you're that wounded warrior, just like when wounded animals or like animals that are scared and you're just trying to help them, and sometimes they make it really hard to help them because they're not listening to their intuition, or they are listening to their intuition and survival instincts, honey, and they just don't let anyone in. So when you're trying to save that animal, they make it sometimes hard on themselves, right? Don't be that person is essentially what I'm trying to say to you when it comes to your career. Don't give up on certain things, and how you're going to be really advancing in your career seemingly is through some type of social connection, darling. So just be open to it. Again, there seemingly has been a theme for your reading when it comes to just your social life. And my regulars can vouch for me, honey, in the comments below. Vouch for me, Taurus, that I really don't like, not that I don't care about people, but it's like, when I'm doing a tarot reading for somebody, like I don't care about anyone besides who I'm doing the tarot reading for. Like I like to have it be more self-reflective rather than the outside world, because who cares about other people? You get my point, Taurus. Anyways, your last oracle card for your reading today is trusting the creative spark you're feeling and expressing it through writing stories that inspire and enlighten. Also take note that this is the spider, right? And you know how the spider builds a web, honey, you know, and it takes a moment for sometimes it takes a moment for the spider to have that web be really perfect. You see where I'm already going with this, Taurus? You're probably already rolling your eyes and like, okay, Velka, girl, you know how that spider is laying down their own foundation. All right, even when it comes to your career, even when it comes, this spider card is really just reinforcing ultimately not only the beaver spirit, but also what I was saying for your career of the high priestess here, where they're really assisting you creatively on your pursuits when it comes to your career and what to do with that. But you're still laying down the foundation currently, so don't be expecting riches and fame and fortune overnight. But I'm sure I didn't need to tell you that, Taurus. But yeah, that's the weekly tarot reading that I have for you today, darling Taurus. Hopefully something in here resonated, and I'll talk to you sometime in the near future. Bye, darling.